Yes, please.
So here you can select remote desktop. And then here you can give the details.
Okay.
Which I have provided in the mail for you. Excuse me for 1 second.
Sure.
So here we give the remote desktop, and then this this will open up this pop-up window. And here we have to provide the system details here, which I have provided in mail for you. And also then you can go to show options, and here you can give your username. So this is HANA 142, and then you can select the save button, and then you can select the connect button. And it will ask for the password. So password also, let me check the password once. So this is the password I have shared in mail for you. You can give the password and you can select the OK button. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Oops. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, video?
Okay, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Sir, రేపు తప్పనిసరిగా రండి. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Steven.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry. So this is our HANA system. So this is how we connect to the system. And if you open this notepad, HAN_details. If you open this notepad, so here you can see all the details of each and every system. So this is our data services. And here they have given us the usernames and passwords. And this is our SQL server. This is our HANA Studio, right? So we'll be using this HANA Studio. So username is HAN and password is HANA@1234. So here they have given all the details in this notepad. all the user IDs and the password of all the systems, right? So we can check in this notepad for all the user IDs and passwords. So let us log into our HANA Studio. So this is our HANA Studio, SAP HANA Studio. So double click on the HANA Studio. So this is our HANA Studio. Actually, I have tested just before our class, I have tested whether this is working or not. So at that time, I have saved my user ID and password. So that is the reason it did not ask me now, right? So if it asks for username and password, so we have to provide these. HAN is the username and HAN@1234 is the password. So these two details we have to provide. So once we log in, you can expand your HDB. HDB is nothing but our HANA database. So this is our HDB HANA database. And here we have some important folders. So this is our HANA Studio. So here, if you observe, we are having some important folders here. So we have our catalog. So this is our catalog folder, and this is our content folder, and this is our provisioning folder, and this is our security folder. So all of these are the folders that we are going to work, right?
Okay.
So this is how we will log into the system. And also we will see what is there in each and every folder. So in our catalog folder, expand the catalog folder. So in our catalog folder, we have, these are called as the schemas. So these are called as the schemas. And under the schema, we have the tables. So tables are stored at the schema level, right? So we can summarize this as the, let me summarize this. So this is our HDB HANA database. So this is our HDB HANA database, and this is our catalog folder, and this is our content folder. So under the catalog, we have our schema, and under the schemas, we have tables, right? Similarly, under the content, we have packages. We have packages, and under the packages, we have the information systems or the information views or models. So this is the hierarchy of our folders. So this is our HDB HANA database, and this is our catalog, and this is our content. And under the catalog, we have our schema. And under the schemas, we have our tables. And here we have our package. And under the packages, we have our information models or information views. So these are the two important folders we'll be working a lot, right? So let's go back. So, so let me minimize this. Let me minimize our content folder. And let me minimize our catalog folder. This is our catalog. And let me expand our content. So under the content, we have our packages. We have our packages. And in each and every package, you can see different, we can see different information systems or information views. So let's try to see any. So here, so these are called as the views, right? So there are different types of views like attribute views, analytic views, and calculation views. So we will discuss them in our going forward classes. So this is the hierarchy of our folders, right? So the first step, what we will do is we'll try to create a package. We'll try to create a package for our training class. And unlike in our traditional ERP systems, we don't have to start naming our package with a Y or Z. We don't have to start the naming convention with a Y or Z. The first alphabet need not be with a Y or Z. We can give any name, whatever name we want. So, so this is our content. So select the content, right click, new package. So this is how we can create a package. Select the content, new, and create package. So you can give any name for your package. So let's give your name only, right? So COURTNEY. So this is your name, right? So let's give your name only as the package name. And also, as soon as you click on the description, automatically, whatever the name we give here, the same name it will take for the description also. If you want, you can change that, right? So you can change the description. Whatever the description you want, you can give it here under the description part, right? And select the OK. So our package is created. So the first step, what I want to show you is in our normal SAP system, in our traditional ERP systems, if we have to create a table, we have to, you know how we create a table in our ERP system, and then again we'll try to put the data into the table, right?
Okay.
But here we have some shortcut way of creating a table as well as inserting the data into the table. So we can do that simultaneously at the same time. So here I have created one file. So I have created one file called marks. So this is the name of our file. And here if you observe our marks file, this is of CSV file, .csv. So this is of type extension is .csv. So whenever we want to upload data into create the table and upload the data directly into the table, we have to use the .csv files. So if you go to the properties here, so the file type, right? So the file type, this is a CSV file. It is of type CSV. So now I will try to upload the data from this file. We will try to create a table in our HANA Studio, and we will try to upload the data from this file. So this is our file, right? So we'll try to upload the data from this file directly into our table. And our file name is marks. Marks is the name of our file. So let's see how we can do that. So let's go to our HANA Studio. So here, this is the path. You select file, and then you can select the import button. That means we are trying to import the outside file into our the file that is there on the desktop. We are trying to import that file into our HANA Studio. So yeah, you want to say something?
No.
So select the import button, and here you can select SAP HANA, expand SAP HANA. Okay, expand SAP HANA content, and then you can select data from local file because we want to import the data from local file. So select the data from local file and select the next button, and then select our HDB. Our HDB is nothing but our HANA database. So select the HDB HANA database and select the next button. So here we can select the schema name. So generally the tables are stored in the schema level, right? So we can, for now, we will try to select any other schema because we have not created our own schema. Or let's do one thing. First, we'll try to create the schema. So to create the schema, we can do it in a very simple way. Let me show you how to do that. So there is this Open SQL console, right? You select the HDB, and then there is this button called Open SQL console for selected system. So you can select that. So the SQL console mode will be opened like this. So you can give a simple SQL statement. Create schema and then schema name. So I will name our schema name as the same thing as your name only, right? So create schema, and this is our schema name. So let's try to activate. So there is this green button called the green arrow called the activate execute. So we got the message successfully created the schema. So we have created the schema. So our package name is also Courtney and our schema name is also Courtney. So now we have our schema ready, right? So it has executed successfully. So this is called as the SQL statement. Create schema and then the schema name. So now we will try to create a table in our schema, right? So again, select the file and then select the import, and you can select the SAP HANA content, and you select data from local file and select the next button. And you select the HDB HANA database and select the next button. So here we can give the schema name. Our schema name is, we have created the schema. So our schema name is, this is our schema name, right? So the schema which we have just created, and the table name. So the table name, I will give it as STUD is for student, STUDENT student underscore info. So this is our table name. Student info is our table name. So this is the table I want to create in this particular schema. So, and then here we can select header row exists. Why? Because in our file, the first row is the headings like student ID, student name, marks, grade, like that. We are having the headings in our in the first row of our file, right? So header row exists, and also we can select import all data. We want to import all the data from the file, right? So and then Okay, so we have to browse the file here, right? So we have to select the file. So I selected the browse button and it is there on the desktop, and our file name is marks.csv file. Extension is .csv, right? And select the open. So this is the file we want to import, and we want to import all the data from this file, and header row exists, right? And import all the data. I have selected this checkbox. I have selected this checkbox, and I want to save the table in this schema. And this is the name of our table, student info. So all of this is the information we have to provide here, and select the next button. And then here, one important point we have to do is like automatically here, if you observe, the fields are mapped automatically. ID is mapped with the same headings. A table is going to be created, right? ID is the first field, name is the second field, marks is the third field, and grade is the fourth field. And here, if you observe, by default, storage type is column store. So in SAP HANA, all the tables, whenever we create a table, by default, they are column storage type, not row storage. Whereas in the traditional ERP systems, by default, they are, row storage. But here, by default, they are column store tables. And one thing we have to do here is like we have to identify the main key or the primary key. So we will identify the ID as the main key or the primary key in this table. And also at this point, if you want to add a new field, so there are already 4 fields in the file. But if you want to add an extra field at this point also, you can add it, right? So let us try to add a new field. So you can select the plus button. So let me remove one of it. So this is our new column, and you can also name your column. So you can name it, whatever name you want, you can name it. So I will give it as new field. So this is our new field. And if you want to give some default value also, you can assign some default value. So let me assign some default value as N1. So you can assign some default values like this for the fields if you want, right? Or so all of this you can do at this point. And here, if you observe, we are looking at the data that is there in the table, in the upload file. So whatever the data we are having in the upload file, we can see all of the data here. That means now all of this data is going to be inserted into this table, right? So you can select the next button. So we are having 8 records here. So, and this is the new field we have added later on, right? And then you can select the finish button. So now let us go and check the table. So let's go to our schema. So let us go to the catalog. And one more thing we can do is like we can also filter our schema. So let's see how to do that. So select the catalog, right click, filters, and let me give our schema name. This is our schema name, and this is our whole word, and okay. So it will filter out our schema. So this is our schema name. So instead of searching for our schema, I just try to filter out our schema here. And then if you expand, And under the tables, so this is our table, student info. And if you want to check the data that is there in this table, you can select the table, right click, and you can select open data preview, right? So this is the data we are having in this table. So what we did was, like, not only we have created the table, but at the same time we have also inserted the data into the table, right? So are we fine till here?
Yes, I am. Mhm.
Mhm. And also I want to show you one more thing. There is this tab called show log. So you can select that show log, and here whenever we try to display the data from the table, in the background it is the system is automatically writing an SQL query in the background, right?
Okay.
So here it is showing what are all the background steps it is doing in the background. It is showing all those background steps here in a sequential way. So started query execution, generated SQL select. It is using the SQL select, save processing. So this many milliseconds it has taken, 7 milliseconds, right? Created 8 rows from result set. So total number of records in this table are 8. So whatever it is doing in the background, in this show log, we can see all the steps that are being done in the background, right?
Okay.
So, and um, so this is about creating a new table, right? So let's say, for example, we want to add data to the existing table. So let's see how we can do that. So let me copy this file, copy, paste, and let me rename this file as marks2. Let me rename this as marks2, right? And let me open it. And let me change the data. So we are having some 8 records here. So let me change the data here. So ID is 10, 12, 13, 14. And names also let me change. Right. So let me save. So I am having this file called marks2. So whatever the data I am having in this file, I want to add it to the existing table called students_info, right? So here, if you observe, I am having the records from 2 to 5. So these are the rows I want to add to my existing table students_info. So let me try to close this file. So do you want to save changes to? Yes, save it. So, okay, marks2, save, okay, replace it. Okay, yes, right. So now our marks2 file is ready. And one more important point is, it is also of the type CSV file. Okay. So let's again go to our Studio, HANA Studio. And let's again go to our file and let's go to import and select data from local file. Select next. Select our HDB HANA database. Select the next button. And let us try to browse the file. So it is there on our desktop. The file name is marks2.csv file and open. And here we will say header row exists, right? And to start, header row is 1, start line is 2, start line is 2, end line is 5. You can mention, and you can also select this import all data you can do, or you can simply give from 2nd row to 5th row. You can mention like that, from which row to which row you want to import. And then here you can give the here you can give the existing table name, right? So you can select the existing tab, existing button, and here you can select the table. So our table is under this particular schema. This is our table name. So you can select the table name and select the OK button.
Okay.
So this is the schema. Under this schema, this is the table. So select the next button. So it is showing the records, right? And one difference is, like, when we are trying to create the table first time, new table, automatically the field names will be mapped to the new table. But when we are trying to